affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states.
Blast Off! As Circus World boldly goes where no circus has gone before. Feel the big bang as Tina the Human Cannonball flies high.
Defy gravity with an upside-down rocketeer. Perky poodles, soaring aerial acts. Plus, camels, llamas, horses, and ponies orbiting the ring.
Jugglers, zany comedy, and space cadet music invite you to Blast Off! To family fun at Circus World.
Open Book joins the WRMN lineup every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. Tune in to Open Book with the Gail Borden Library as their team brings you the features and events the library offers. Educational, informational, and timely. Open Book includes the services Gail Borden Library offers, like the summer reading program. That's Open Book every Monday at 1 p.m. with the Gail Borden Library. Brought to you thanks to KCT Credit Union, where your financial well-being is their top priority.
Experience the natural side of Wisconsin Dells this summer at Land of Natura, now open. It's the first natural theme park and water park of its kind. You have to see this one. This 150-acre park is for all ages and includes Water World, America's largest floating water park, plus more than 10 attractions, dining, and much, much more. There's so much to do there. Land of Natura in the Dells, where fun comes naturally. Reserve your pass at landofnatura.com today.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Royals beat the White Sox 4-3 in Chicago. The Sox losing skid has hit 16 straight games, extending a franchise record. In Cincinnati, the Reds doubled up the Cubs 6-3. Cody Bellinger hit a homer in his return from the injured list. The Bears signed wide receiver DJ Moore to a 4-year contract extension. The deal's worth $110 million. $82.5 million of that's guaranteed. Moore had 2 seasons left on a 3-year, $61.8 million extension he signed with Panthers during the 2022 season. Chicago acquired the star pass catcher in March 2023 in a trade that sent last year's #1 overall pick to Carolina. The Panthers used that to pick Bryce Young. Moore's new contract is the largest deal in Bears history. He's now signed through the 2029 season. Chicago opens up the preseason on Thursday night against the Houston Texans in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We can get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we can take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Attention all burger enthusiasts and game aficionados. Celebrate a century of excellence at Mott's Lounge, proudly serving the community for 100 years under 5 generations of passionate ownership. Sink your teeth into our hand-pressed fresh burgers bursting with flavor, crafted just the way you like them. And while you're here, enjoy our exclusive drink specials, perfect for toasting to our milestone anniversary. Plus, challenge your luck with our state-of-the-art gaming machines, adding an extra thrill to your visit. Join us at Mott's Lounge and be a part of history in the making. Here's to another century of great food, fun, and memories. Mott's Lounge, where every visit is a celebration. For more information, visit us online at mottslounge.com.
Out to lunch, WRMN. Stay tuned, jump in. It's time. My name is Dennis Sonard-Green, and I'll be taking you through the next 2 hours of WRMN Golden Radio, right there on the AM dials. I've got some giveaways for you. I want you to be my friends. I want you to like me. So I got some things for you. Not just information and a great place to talk and communicate. I've got some free tickets to the circus right here. That would be the Garden Bros Nuclear Circus. There it is. Right here, 2 free pair. We'll be talking a little bit this hour what to give away, how to give away, how you can go to the circus, maybe run away to the circus. We'll see. The other thing I've got is the sponsor of the Out to Lunch side of things for this week. That would be Danny's Pizza. Danny's Pizza on Douglas. Right here, I've got Danny's dollars. Come down to the Redemption Center for lunch. And I've got, you bring a friend, the 2 of you. I've got a $10 right here. Share a pizza. Take 10 off. If it's just you going out for lunch, that's okay. I got a $5 just for you. But we want you to make a friend. Want to be our friend, so we've got things to give away, you and your friends right here. Danny's Pizza. Danny's Pizza's right here on Douglas. That's 231 Douglas Avenue in Elgin. If you want to give them a call and order a pizza or know a little bit more about these Danny's dollars or the specials that they have, 847-742-5400. 847-742-5400. That's 231 Douglas Avenue. Danny's Pizza on Douglas, the corner of Douglas and Kimball. $10 right here. Danny's dollars. Coming to you. Come by our station, and I'll give you these right here. Studio 14 is located on 14 Douglas. Hey, same street. You can pick it right up on the way over. Today on the show, we've got the amazing, the wonderful Ben Demonium Boquest. Hey, sir. Thank you very much for being here.
Hey, yeah, man. No, thank you for the superlatives there. Amazing. I try to be. I try. Thank you.
Well, it shows that you try, buddy. It's like if I try to go to the gym every day, right? You can see somebody who tries to go to the gym.
Now we're going the other way with it? You're just going to start insulting me right off the bat?
Well, you try. No. I'm saying the people that try to go to the gym usually go if you're actually trying, right? And you can see the change.
To just, I guess, procrastinating or liar, Ben, right off the bat, huh?
No, I'm not trying to put you. I'm saying you are.
We're going to say next. No, I'm joking.
That's what I mean. I drive to work because I try to drive to work. I succeed after I try. So you try to go to the gym. You succeed at going to the gym. You try to be good. Try to be a good broadcaster. Today. I'm sorry you didn't go to the gym today, buddy. I think that's
it's all good.
I think that's a sore subject. I'm sorry I brought it up. But that's out there. That's some great things here on Out to Lunch. Hey, buddy, got some good news. News that made me kind of go back in time for some things. We are changing a little bit of the schedule. And we've got the 4 to 6 right here. And guess what's coming back? We only got about 50 or 60 episodes in, so more people wanted more episodes. And guess what it is, sir?
Are we back?
4 to 6, Apolitical Talk Show, rocking it out. I've just talked with News Nation to see if we can get some more people coming in. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, there is a RSS feed from when we were on WCGO. We have about, oh my goodness, Ben, 47 episodes, something like that we've got for that. So you definitely can get a flavor of what we do around here. We will no longer have to shove any of our political talk into Out to Lunch. So those of you for the Out to Lunch side of it that don't like when we get a little too political, now have a place to stay away from. 4 to 6. Those of you that like it, go ahead and jump in. Absolutely. So the way that we're going to put it together, do you remember a WCGO, Ben, where we only had 1 hour and we would get off of the air and we'd be like, we didn't have enough time for callers. We didn't have time to talk about this story or that story. Yeah. We only got 3 stories in, right?
You know what? Despite only having an hour, I feel like we used to be ahead of the news cycle, though.
Boom. Going. Soothsayers, as they say. But yeah, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bake in call time. So if you like what we say in the first hour, the 4 to 5, if you like the discussion that we say, then jump in and say it. Even more so, if you don't like some of the things we were discussing, or you have something else that you want to add to the conversation or anything like that, 5 to 6 is going to be your time to jump in right into it. Throughout the show, we're going to be still taking the text messages. We'll still see people on the chat, and those will more than likely get read as they come in, because that's a quick thing that we can just add into the conversation. If you want to vocally jump into the conversation through the phone lines, there's a few different ways to do it. You can jump in on the information line, the 360 information line, 505-926-1410, 505-926-1410. If you call that, you can leave a voice message. That comes in as a text for me and as an audio file. I can jump those right there. But audio file as in like the actual file, not like as audio file as in like you really like audio. And then there is the phone line, 847-931-1410. And that's where you'll be able to jump in. What we're trying to do is go up against the all blue, all red side that's in the world right now. I'll name it right now. I don't want to call any stations out there, but you know that there is a hard left talk radio station that's out there. 24 hours hard left every day. That's what it does. Just like you know that there is a hard right radio station here in the area. You can pick up some of them throughout your travels, et cetera, et cetera. Those of you in Schaumburg, I think, know that you get us and them all at the same time, et cetera, et cetera. That's in there. Where Ben and I always strive, and I tell my students this too, I can't be unbiased. There's impossible for everybody to be unbiased. It's just our nature as humans. We are biased things. But you can strive with your will and your actions to curb your bias and come in with good faith regardless of your bias. And that's where Ben and I will never tell you that we're not biased, but I will tell you I strive to not be biased. All those other people are going to tell you all day, I'm not biased, I'm Biased News Network. And then they proceed to then be biased. So go ahead, Ben. You were going to add something.
Balls and strikes.
Balls and strikes. In fact, bringing that up, man, is I was listening to a couple of our shows, and in there we had Paul Campus, Political Paul, Political Campus as it goes, and in one of our earlier shows, that's what we described. Paul, at least, I mean, you and I, we can't necessarily speak for ourselves, but that's what we meant, is that we have to have that. And I believe it was him that used that word of being an umpire, of being, hey, this is it. Because I'll tell you, Political Campos, that guy is the most centered, like, he is what I try to be as far as centered. I wish I could be that side of it, but
yeah,
we always go to that side.
When I did shows with Paul, I feel like we complemented each other pretty well. He's kind of, I would say, he's kind of mirrored of my my political kind of a.
So I'm excited to bring it back, Ben. It mirrors a lot of what you did. I sent you an email. I wrote a little description we're going to put together. But by all means, everybody go onto your Google machine, your internet box, and type in A Political Talk Show. That's it. A Political Talk Show. Go ahead and pop it in. You'll find our feed that's in there. You'll find the show that we had to put on hiatus while we were coming in here working with WRMN. Now that the outcry is there of, hey, I think it's less of, Ben, I think it's less of, hey, we need a political show, and more of, we need a political show to keep that guy in his sandbox. I think that's more of what it is. I don't know. We got good things, bad things back and forth, but essentially now we will have that area, that flavor ready to go. in case that's what you need. The other things that are changing, Matt McNeil, Middays with Matt, I don't know if you guys remember that. That was a couple months ago that we had those. That's where we're going to have him now. So now the out to lunch side, if you like the drive time feel or the restaurant side, the deals and the steals and the community aspect of it, out to lunch is primarily going to be driven by Matt. But because it's such a great time of the day that we're all here, just like yesterday when we announced the Danny's Dollars for Danny's Pizza, I was able to jump right in. He turned it on, talked about 5 minutes or so of, hey, this great thing is happening right there. Boom, let him go right back to his show. So what we're hoping is that if breaking news happens, if there's something exciting that's happening at the station, we're able to do the out to lunch side of it, and the whole team can be involved with such a great broadcaster during that time. So with that, man, I think we're starting to put together our content hats, right? It's our content specialties. Instead of just filling a shift and saying now they've got a body here or doing that, which was easy. It was easy when the message was the only thing we're going to talk about is radio shopping. That's an easy message. You fill a shift. So now what we're going to do is add more flavor to the shows that we've got so that you have a distinction between the different shows and the different personalities, and we can actually start making this cornucopia of different flavors instead of just a kind of like a vanilla unseasoned side of it. I think what's really going to change in this next era is a lot more of the host flavors are going to come out in the programming. So thanks for Mark for putting together a great schedule for that. And yeah, stay tuned because lots of great things are happening for there. But you know what, Ben? We can't just sit here and pat ourselves on the back forever. I want to get a little bit into the news. And some of that news is a Florida woman. I don't know if you know this or not, Ben, but sometimes I'm a very organized person where I just label things to just label them, right? You label things too, right? Ben's lunch.
It's in audio. It's in an audio person's nature just to label. You got to label the board. You got to label the cables, male, female, splitters, gender benders, Z-box, humbuckers. Direct boxes. You need to know where that stuff is. Dewey Decimal System.
Without labels, you wouldn't know where they were, right?
Absolutely.
So a Florida woman found herself behind bars after a traffic stop yielded the discovery of several drugs stashed inside a bag labeled bag of drugs, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Oh, my goodness. It's so crazy. So let's go to WF. Let's see here. What was that one? I'm sorry. I just lost it again. WOFL. That is out of Orlando. And sure enough, this was written by Danny Medina. St. Petersburg, Florida. A Florida woman found herself behind bars with a bag labeled bag of drugs. Lauren Riley, 41, was arrested and charged with the following after the incident unfolded in the same area of 54th North Avenue and Hines Road in St. Petersburg on Saturday, according to the arrest affidavit. Possession of cocaine, crack cocaine, methamphetamine, hydromorphine, alprazolam. Alprazolam? I don't know what that is. It must be a new designer drug. Amphetamine, and drug paraphernalia. Just before 11:30, Riley was spotted in her car, albeit not at the wheel, without a seatbelt and rummaging around the passenger floorboard, the affidavit said. The trooper pulled the driver over and noticed a small, used, and burnt piece of tinfoil and a plastic straw in the car. Additionally, the driver said Riley was under the influence of alcohol. The driver was arrested for having an open container, according to Florida Highway Patrol. Riley was also asked to get out of the car. As Florida Highway Patrol conducted a probable cause search, the arrest report said. The bag labeled bag of drugs. I can't read it with. Excuse me. A bag labeled bag of drugs was reportedly found inside Riley's purse. Here's what the troopers said they found inside the bag, according to the arrest. Metal spoon, 4 glass pipes of residue, plastic baggies with white residue, full needle, 2 straws, 3.5 grams of cocaine, the other list, crack cocaine, hydromorphine, etc. Riley was taken into custody. She has since been released from the county jail. Online jail records show. Benjamin, that definitely seems like something you probably shouldn't label to begin with, but it doesn't seem like it was really the deciding factor in the story here. Yes, is it funny that it says bag of drugs? But they were already searching the vehicle to begin with. I think it just saved the police officers time to. We labeled it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, interesting. You gotta. I would wonder why a person would do that. Like, do they have bags of other things that aren't drugs for some reason?
Bags of money.
Yes, right. Yeah. Well, funnily enough, I was just watching some program like Cops or something like that, and they were doing. It was almost a similar situation, and this guy was carrying around salt in bags.
Yes.
To put in his beer.
So I don't carry salt in little baggies like that, but I do salt my beer every once in a while. A lager with a good, like a Yuengling. Oh my gosh! You get a Yuengling, 2 shakes of the salt. Oh my gosh, it's one of the best beers you'll ever drink.
Yes, you got my mouth watering, man. I love.
Oh my gosh! Well, I actually tried. What is it? The South Street or Side Street? Sorry, the Side Street lager. When I was over at, you guessed it, Danny's Pizza. That's one of the lagers that's floating around here. Really great tall boy can, so you get your 16 ounces on that. And then over at Danny's, if you get it, they'll actually put it in a chilled glass for you.
Love it.
And then so I pour it right in, right? Nice, pour right to the top. Immediately, I'm like, hey, I can smell it. It smells good. Take a couple sips of it. I'm like, you know what? The best thing I would do for this, shake, done. My goodness, is that such a great lager that's there. I'm an ale guy. I like a little bit of the sweeter end of my beers, but I'll tell you, if I'm going to go lager with it, I like that savory if I'm going to do it a little bit more, and salt just adds that extra little pop to it. So,
sure.
Yeah, I'll tell you, 2 shakes in one of those, ooh, goodness. That's good stuff. I may have to go back.
Nothing beats a little the lime and salt in a Corona to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, open container here in Florida is what the driver was arrested for. Lauren Riley, the one who had the bag of drugs, there was an open container for it. So they got the driver was arrested for having the open container. And then what set it off is Riley was rummaging around. Said that the driver was influenced. The driver said Riley was under the influence of alcohol. So the driver narked on Riley, and then it started the whole thing. She's drunk. Leave her alone. Yeah, she's drunk on whatever you drank out of that tinfoil. That's one of those weird things that's out there in the news for it. I've got some more other things, especially Southwest Airlines. But you know what, buddy? We got to get to a break. I'm sorry. I know you wanted some more news right off the bat. Keep the news train going. But we will. News train will keep it traveling along. Toot, toot. Right after these. You're listening to Out to Lunch, WRMN. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. That other guy on the other end of the phone is Bendemonium Boquest. We're walking through today's hot topics and news. Maybe we'll get some learning in. Maybe we'll get some more discussion. Join in. 847-931-1410. We'll be right back after these.
local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
And when like Christmas time and Thanksgiving time, Brian has these little competitions. People ring up and they gobble like a turkey, and whoever gets the most votes for the best gobble off, they win a turkey for Thanksgiving.
Really? That's a great idea. That's a great radio contest. Derek has given us some great ideas here.
That's
Larry.
right.
Yeah.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN. Are you getting ready to clock out for the day? Get ready for the ultimate midday pick-me-up. Cruise home with the Midday Drive with Matt. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Join in as I bring you the hottest hits, engaging conversations, and your daily dose of entertainment. From trending topics to local happenings, I've got your afternoons covered. We hope you'll enjoy the ride with the Midday Drive. Tune in on WRMN AM 1410 and drive your day with the Midday Drive. Every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. right here on WRMN. Voice of the Valley, the talk of the town.
Let me tell you a story about Bill. Bill was a normal guy in his 50s. He had back surgery about 2 years ago. Bill was in a lot of pain. He dealt with his pain by taking the Percocets his doctor prescribed for him. Bill took more and more and more of them to help with the pain, until one day the prescriptions weren't enough to get rid of Bill's pain. Then one day Bill found someone to help him get rid of the pain with illegal drugs he didn't need a prescription for. Fast forward to today. Bill lost his job and his family. The only thing he does have is his drug dealer. If you know Bill's story and you don't want to end up like Bill, call the Detox and Treatment Helpline right now to get away and get treatment.
800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. 800-694-1127. Call right now. Help is standing by. 800-694-1127.
Kids will find buried treasure this summer as they climb aboard the pirate ship and pretend they're sailing the seven seas. Pirates Cove Children's Theme Park in Elk Grove is designed to encourage exploration and imagination for children from 2 to 9. There's so much to see and do, like Barness Bay Boats, Camelot's Castle, Pirates Plunge, Safari Express, Soarin' Schooners, and so much more. Wearing socks and gym shoes for safe play is advised. For more information, visit elkgroveparks.org.
Retirement can be scary, but only if you're not prepared. That's why AARP created thisispretirement.org. Because unless you've already retired, you're in pretirement, and you still have time to plan. Learn about retirement savings options, potential tax breaks, and how you can build savings over time. Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan and feel the retirement fear disappear. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
WRMN has been serving Elgin and the Fox Valley for 75 years, featuring a combination of local news, information, and entertainment in the mornings, followed by the radio shopping show for 5 hours each weekday. The first shift with Marky B starts your morning at 6 a.m., and it's always fun when Larry Jones is a part of the show.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
Can't haze, you'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
And then there'll be a lot of people that come out of the and say that I also hazed
I remember when Mark hazed me. I've been hazed.
Mark hazed me back in 2012.
2012. I remember in Memphis one time. He was really mean to me.
It's first shift fun and information in the morning, combined with the radio shopping show to save you money. And you get it right here on WRMN AM 1410, WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook, and WRMN1410.com.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch, WRMN's show for you, where we go over some of the latest news and trending topics as it moves through. Watch out. You might learn something. Right here on Apolitical Talk Show that we've got for the podcasting side. Go ahead and take a listen to it. We're looking for a space for that. Here on the WRMN side, we'll be taking Fox Valley afternoons. It's going to be really good. It's going to be a grab bag of different things, different segments as it rotates through. Ben will be jumping into that. Tammy is on her way over as well. She's got some vacation time that she's going to be taking over and jumping over on that. Hey, Ben, who's on the phone with me right now. I've got somebody else who's on the phone. Let's see who it is. Hello, caller. Welcome aboard. What would you like to talk about?
I was calling just wondering if you guys still do Tradio.
We do Tradio. Throughout the day, we have a few different things. Matt McNeil does a lot of that. I can also add you into the Tradio side if that's what's something that you're looking for. I can pull up the Tradio right now. Wonderful. Do you want me to read the Tradio to you, or would you like to add something?
No, not right now. I mean, but does it come on every day at 12:30 till 1 like it used to, where you could advertise what you want to buy or what you're looking for?
Yeah, part of moving Matt McNeil back to the middays with it, he will be able to do that Tradio at the scheduled time that you're used to.
Oh, so when would I look for it? Every day then?
Yeah, so what we're doing is coming up here in about 2 weeks or so, we're going to be switching over to the new content schedule. And what we're actually trying to do is live 6 in the morning all the way to 6 at night. And what's really neat about that is it's just like this, being able for you to call in and saying, hey, what's a little bit of information about this? Or do you mind reading the Tradio side of it for there? It's supposed to be an interactive information source so that you'll be able to call in and ask questions throughout the day.
Oh, okay. And then when is it? In about 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're switching it back over, but we regularly read out the Tradio side. We've even had some people that put some things in, I think, even just as early as just a few days ago.
Really?
So, yeah, we keep it on there for a couple of weeks, and Matt McNeil maintains that list for us.
Yeah, because, I mean, I tried getting it last week one day, and I'm like, nobody says anything about Tradio. And I'm like, well, I wonder if they even have it anymore.
Yeah, well, we're starting to listen to what you want over here, and we'll try to deliver it.
Oh, okay, hon. All righty. I don't have anything today, but...
Okay. Yeah. Well, when you do, you know exactly who to call to talk about it.
Okay, hon. What's his name again? McNeil?
Matt McNeil comes right on. He's going to be taking this out to lunch shift right here for you.
Okay. All righty. Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
All good stuff around here. Community driven is the way that we want to go. Benjamin, speaking of that community driven aspect of it, Spirit Airlines is starting to stray from the old business model with new premium fare bundles, right? Spirit Airlines used to be the low cost, right? You get that, maybe you pay an extra $15, $25 to actually take a bag with you. But they've started to change. So right here, Spirit Airlines, and this is from Script News, the budget airline known for its bright yellow planes said the new options will include things like roomier seats, one carry-on and one checked bag, as well as snacks, drinks, and alcoholic beverages. The ultra-low budget Spirit Airlines is set to undergo a major makeover as it plans to stray from its traditionally free, heavy business model to introduce premium fare bundles that include perks like free checked bags and snacks. The Florida-based airline announced Tuesday that it will soon offer 4 new ticket options called Go Big, Go Comfy, Go Savvy, and Just Go, where they slap a couple of Post-it stamps to you and put you in a bag. No, I don't think they do that. Spirit said top bundle upgrade, go big, which includes things like priority check-in and more spacious seating with extra legroom, Wi-Fi streaming access, one carry-on and one check bag, as well as snacks, drinks, and alcoholic beverages. This must be the first class side of it. The class war has now changed to the Go Biggers. All 4 options will also give flyers flexibility to change or cancel their flight at no additional charge. We're unveiling a new era in Spirit's history and taking low-fare travel to new heights with enhanced options that are unlike anything we've offered before. Spirit CEO Ted Christie said in a statement, "We listen to our guests and are excited to deliver what they want." What do you usually fly there, Ben? Who's not here? Okay, bye. Right here, we've got the business shift comes as a budget airline known for its bright yellow planes, has not been profitable in over 4 years, losing nearly $2.4 billion since 2019. Let's see here. It struggles to compete against other major airlines that focus on all-inclusive travel options while still offering low-fare options as well. I think we've got Ben connected again.
Yeah, I was muted. Sorry about
okay.
that. But yeah, I fly whatever is cheapest. Absolutely.
Well, there's been Spirit Airlines for a while then, right?
Oh, yeah. Spirit is an old standby, especially if you want to smell beer while you're flying.
And is it because of the beer that was spilled or because of the people that fly it?
Both, yes. Yeah, if you want to see a fight, or have an argument, or get some salty beers and smell beer, Spirit Airlines is a great option.
There you are. Speaking of cat ladies, cat ladies come together to show support for Kamala Harris. The Zoom call with pets included, organized as a riposte to comments made by J.D. Vance about childless cat ladies. A group of pet lovers, self-described cat ladies, came together for the latest in a series of Zoom calls to support the vice president. The Tuesday evening call was hosted by Christine Pelosi, a political consultant and daughter of Nancy Pelosi. The call was not organized around, was not organized around radical or ethnic identity, but as a rebuff to the comments made by J.D. Vance. A bunch of childless cat ladies who said here, the Democrats, corporate oligarchs, and a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. When J.D. Vance couched his opinion on our freedom, we decided that the cat ladies are striking back, Pelosi said. He didn't realize what an opportunity he was giving us that he would unleash. This seems to be opposite of what the stereotype of the cat lady is, of a lady who just stays in her home with just her cats. Can they organize? It's like anarchists organizing. It's weird. But hey, this is part of the microcultures that are out there in the world now. And now with the internet, every single microculture has a much larger voice, even if it's only 5 people in the world in that microculture. They have almost the same level of volume as anybody else who posts anything on the internet. What do you think about different microcultures coming into Zoom calls to support candidates, Ben? This is what I like about this, is it's less about the Democratic Party and more about the candidate coming in. I think this may be the direction to go to get rid of this two-party system, is start going and funding candidates. Are you muted again, sir?
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, funding candidates obviously is something that, I'm I've said this a bunch of times on the show that I'm just so over money in politics that it's unfortunate. I feel like I'm of the mind that you shouldn't have to, the American people shouldn't have to reach into their pockets to to keep funding politicians to have these cyclical, weird show of elections. I feel like we should just vote, and then also, we're in the position where we have to vote with our dollars, so we do that every day. And it's unfortunate that, it seems like the only way to get a candidate that everybody actually wants is to fund them ourselves. Mm-hmm. But and the real frustrating thing is how there's no organization to really bring the right candidates out. Like, Bernie had a great run last time and the other time, and there's just nothing going on.
Maybe we need more cat lady groups.
That's the thing. It's everybody wants to put everybody in boxes. There's the white dudes for Kamala, and then of course there'll be black men and women for Kamala, and Asian, and everybody just wants to vote by their identity. It's really, I understand that's how politics works. It's lazy. It's the easiest way. It's just where.
Well, even lazy. Today's stuff with Donald Trump is going to the Black Journalists Society, I believe, today in Chicago. So when you breed identity politics, you get more identity politics.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. When I turn around and say I'm a this, vote for me. As a vote, even then, if it's who you identify as a race, identify as a religion, I'm a this, vote for me. It's no, I want to do this. These are my policies. This is how I want to help the American people. Got to change it, Ben.
If you're Trump, you go, you're a this, you're a Christian, so vote for me.
There it is. When we come back, we'll finish the hour with some more stuff coming through. More offbeat news as we go. You're listening to Out to Lunch, WRMN 1410.
Microsoft has new computers that put AI first, this special category called Copilot Plus PCs. They have minimum specs plus a chip just for AI. The company unveiling the first Surface devices with the designation, powered by Qualcomm chips, not Intel. One notable AI feature is called Recall. It lets your computer remember everything you do so that you can find files, images, and websites later. More tech news tips on Rich on Tech.
Every Saturday from 1 to 4, right here on WRMN.
Anderson Japanese Gardens, ranked the highest quality Japanese garden in North America and located right in the heart of Rockford. Their mission is to open minds to a different culture while offering a place of peace and tranquility where one can find healing, renewal, inspiration, and a re-energized soul. A premier destination for corporate functions, special events, weddings, and receptions. For directions, hours, and fees, visit andersongarden.org today.
Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Bender Dental wants everyone to be informed, appreciated, and cared for at all times. To prove it, they now offer a new patient exam for just $29. That includes consult, x-ray, exam, and cleaning. Let Bender Dental help you have healthy teeth and gums for a lifetime. Located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Visit benderdentalcare.com.
Everyone has a community to lean on. A neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. You've talked with your kids and shared clear expectations, but you're not with them every minute. Your community members, friends and relatives, teachers and coaches, faith leaders, and other important adults in your kids' lives can be your eyes, ears, and a supportive influence when you're not around, reinforcing your messages with your kids and alerting you to warning signs of underage drinking or other substance use. So talk with your kids about these issues and involve the members of your community to help keep your kids safe. Because when you talk, they hear you.
Clocking out? Drive home with the Drive Time Deal with Matt McNeil on WRMN 1410 AM every weekday from 3 to 6 p.m. I bring you the hottest deals in town, the most intriguing stories, and the tracks that take the edge off rush hour. Tune in on 1410 AM. Catch us on YouTube Live at WRMN Radio or stream through our app. I've got the wheel to steer your evening right. WRMN 1410 AM, your home of radio shopping and the soundtrack to your commute.
Rise and shine, Fox Valley listeners. It's time to kickstart your day with First Shift with Marky B on WRMN 1410 AM. From 6 to 9 a.m., join the chatter that gets you clued in with the latest buzz around town. Don't just sip on your coffee. Let Marky B brew your morning with the perfect mix of news, views, and moves. Dial us in or live stream at WRMN1410.com and make your mornings a whole lot brighter. WRMN 1410 AM. We're the voice of the Valley, and we're here to talk.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at mcgruffpsa.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime Prevention Council.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch, WRMN. WRMN 1410, right here, 14 Douglas. Studio 14, go ahead and say hi. Sit down, it's a beautiful day, my goodness. Got half a pot of coffee sitting in the back. Thank you, Marky B, for that. Appreciate it. That's what radio runs on. They all say Duncan runs on radio, or Duncan runs on coffee. The radio runs on the coffee as it moves from there. So some news that came up throughout my feed this morning popped up here at about, I would say, 7 o'clock or so this morning, and is kind of spreading like wildfire to the other sides. Usually what ends up happening is the AP puts out something good, something centered as it moves through there, and some of the more centered organizations, the small guys, the local newses, the 4-letter networks or the 4-letter stations, things like that, will start taking it because it is centered. Not everything that the AP puts out is centered. You can look at Ad Fontes Media, adfontesmedia.com, or I think it's .org. Either way, if you Google Ad Fontes, there's an interactive map. You'll be able to see the grade of your digestion, just like there's nutrition facts on the back of boxes of cereal, candy bars, and things. You can get those media nutrition facts as it goes. But something that came in this morning, I wanted to talk about it. It is no coincidence of why this is brought up. But this right here is something that the AP put out. In the recent swell of all of the news that's been coming here, after a delusionary start to the campaign season, news outlets are starting to see interest in political news perk up because of an extraordinary run of stories over the past few weeks. Between July 13th and the 23rd, former President Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt and accepted the Republican Party's presidential nomination. President Joe Biden dropped out. Vice President Kamala Harris was secured. We've got a vice presidential pick. Also, she got enough Democrats to be the presumptive nominee. All of these news and changes, because most of July and before that of 24 was all just Trump all the time as it came through. But now more than 57 million people read news stories about the campaign on more than 2,000 news sites measured by Taboola over the past 45 days. 45 days, 55 million people have started jumping into this. That is a 56% increase over the previous 45-day period. Vote.org had an uptick of millions of people. Trump had been number one topic on the news sites for most of 2024 until July, when Harris surpassed him. Taboola spokesman Dave Struzzi said, cable news ratings for the first 6 months of 2024 had been roughly flat compared to 2023, and many online news sites have been seen diminishing numbers. While cable television ratings have suffered over the past few years as many consumers pull the plug on subscriptions, that was still an ominous sign. New leaders had been hoping a presidential election would result in more interests. The people who are actually benefiting on this is Fox. Fox is the number one news source that's out there. It's there. Fox average July audience in prime time was 3.45 million. It's up 66% from its average between January and June from Nielsen. Viewership soared during coverage of the assassination attempt and the feel-good GOP convention that coronated Trump. The favorite for many Fox viewers drew more people than any other convention that has taken place in Fox history. This thing here, I know you're tired of it. Those of you that have been in listening to politics, you're tired of it. But the ones that were checked out, the apathetic, have finally shown up. Whether that is for or against the new leaders, however it had shaken out. Thank you. Grammar check, take two. This is where most of the bodies are coming. And by all means, eyeballs, bodies, however you want to do it. This is an election season. More people are jumping in to what we're talking about for these things. CNN primetime average of 856,000 in July was up 41% from the network's average from the first 6 months of the year. So this is what's happening. People are getting more engaged and they are hungry. They don't want the mainstream media. They don't want the manufactured consent that Noam Chomsky talks about. So, as we wrap up to everything that's here, I appreciate your interest in the news and I appreciate your interest in learning and being a part of the conversation, whether it's passively listening, whether it is on the YouTube chat. See a lot of people on there jumping in for us. We appreciate that as well. Or you've got the text message line that we keep going from there. Brendan comes in again. Hey, everyone, I'm watching at the old airport. Trump plane arriving at the Chicago International Airport. That's amazing. Right out there already jumping in to pull it in. And this is what we try to give you here on this station, is to give you the things that you want to hear about, you want to talk about. And yeah, that's how we work through everything. So check your literacy for your news. More people that are jumping into the gambit, more into the fray. I recommend Ad Fontes. Let me find that actual website real quick for you. Ben, is there something that you use to check your your media intake?
Honestly, just making sure that I read stuff that I know is biased in both directions and kind of boiling that down. I read a lot of centered stuff, and I go by Ad Fontes and knowing that what I usually read is centered and factual based is pretty effective for me. And then also, spreading it out.
Those of you on the YouTube side of it, this is what Ad Fontes looks like. It's an interactive map, and that's adfontesmedia.com. You're able to move around, go into more balanced, less balanced. And look, just like I tell my students, by all means, if you are a biased person and you want to lean on that bias, there are plenty of people out there that have a bias. But don't claim that you don't. That's the biggest pet peeve out there, is if you want to be biased, you want to be rah-rah my team, be rah-rah my team. Dude, there's plenty of cheerleaders out there, but they don't pretend that they love everybody in the league. Be a cheerleader. But what are you cheering for? If you don't like your team, that's on you, not me. You're listening to Out to Lunch. When we come back, we're going to do a little bit more of the giveaways. Talk about these Garden Bros Circus tickets. Giving them away. Come on down to 14 Douglas here in Elgin. More Out to Lunch, hour number 2, right after the news.
Trampoline and indoor amusement park in Wisconsin Dells, you're in for a fun-packed family experience. There's a bit of something for everyone to enjoy, whether you're a kid or a kid at heart. A trampoline park, full arcade, cosmic bowling lanes, and many amusement rides located in their 80,000 square foot indoor entertainment facility. A great attraction for team building activities or just plain fun. Open daily at the outlets at the Dells Complex in Wisconsin Dells. Contact Knuckleheads at 608-254-7332 or visit their website at knuckleheadspark.com.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 1 o'clock.
With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Brought to you by Bank of America Merrill Investments.
The City of Elgin's End of Summer Bash is taking place August 10th at Festival Park. The event is free and open to the public. The theme is Candyland. The City of Naperville taking a proactive approach to drinking water safety. The lead service line replacement program is getting underway. The initiative is set to replace old lead pipes with new copper ones directly from the water main to residences at no expenses to homeowners. Further details on the project can be found on the Naperville Water Utility website. The City of Elgin inviting everyone to a community meeting to help shape the future of Wing Park. It's taking place on Thursday, August 1st from noon until 2 and again from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Wing Park Bandshell. With your AM 1410 WRMN Newsflash, I'm Sean Kernan.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you know that these days, generating growth is a challenge. By teaming with Bank of America, you'll not just stay ahead of the curve, you'll move it. With access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America, N.A.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is great because you're rarely rewarded for just being you. Ever get rewarded for being left-handed? No. You get to use weird scissors. Your reward for being a Capricorn? Cold birthdays that conflict with the holidays. And your reward for quickly responding to every work email? More emails. But with Snapshot, even left-handed Capricorns with proper email etiquette could get rewarded for good driving. So download the Progressive app today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in all states.
Here at WRMN Radio, we try to connect with the community and discuss important issues, like our current mental health crisis. Here's Lori Baker, President and CEO of AID.
I think most people, when they see young children thinking about suicide at the ages of 5 and 6 and 7, I mean, that's shocking to me that children even know that they want to harm themselves somehow. I know it's difficult. I definitely feel the pinch. We all feel the pinch at the gas pump, at the grocery store, right, in our rents, but I think most people could handle 27 cents a day to help kids and seniors and people experiencing homelessness.
Discussions like this take place on the first shift, weekday mornings from 6 to 10, right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook.
Progressive presents the Sports Flash on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN. The Bears signed wide receiver DJ Moore to a 4-year contract extension. The deal's worth $110 million. $82.5 million of that's guaranteed. Moore had 2 seasons left on a 3-year, $61.8 million extension he signed with Panthers during the 2022 season. Chicago acquired the star pass catcher in March 2023 in a trade that sent last year's #1 overall pick to Carolina. The Panthers used that to pick Bryce Young. Moore's new contract is the largest deal in Bears history. He's now signed through the 2029 season. Chicago opens up the preseason on Thursday night against the Houston Texans in the Hall of Fame game in Canton, Ohio. The Royals beat the White Sox 4-3 in Chicago. The Sox losing skid has hit 16 straight games, extending a franchise record. In Cincinnati, the Reds doubled up the Cubs 6-3. Cody Bellinger hit a homer in his return from the injured list. Bundle auto and home, renters or condo, and save with Progressive. I'm Chuck Sanders on News Talk Radio 1410 WRMN.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Starting trouble. No one likes that. We can get you set up for some stronger starts. You might just need a fresh charge, and we can take care of that free of charge. But if it is time for a new battery, we've got replacement batteries that'll fit your needs, starting at just $79.99. That's what makes us America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Life hack number 7. Get an iPhone 12 on Straight Talk.
Life hack.
Here's how it works. You walk into Walmart, go to the electronics section, ask for iPhone 12 with 5G and a dual camera system, and select the new Silver Unlimited plan. They'll smile because it's a good plan. You get real unlimited data all for just $20 a month for the whole first year. Get it at Walmart or StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Taxes and fees apply. Requires activation of iPhone 12 and a new Silver Unlimited plan or higher end auto pay enrollment. $25 a month service credit applied for up to 12 months if eligible.
What makes a great pizza restaurant? The obvious answer, great pizza. A local favorite since 1983, Pizza Pub Wisconsin Dells has been serving up the best pizza in the Dells. Year after year after year. Not hungry for pizza? Try the homemade lasagna, chicken parmesan, burgers, salads, and an extensive kids menu. Or take a trip or two to the all-you-care-to-eat lunch buffet. Pizza Pub, walking distance to water parks and hotels in Wisconsin Dells. Searching for a financial partner that truly has your best interest at heart? Join KCT Credit Union, where they're more than just a bank. They're a not-for-profit financial cooperative. KCT members are owners, meaning profits go back to you in the form of lower loan rates, higher savings rates, and fewer fees. Experience personalized service that puts you first. Become a part of KCT, where your financial well-being is their top priority. Visit kctcu.org. Each account insured up to $250,000 by member's choice. This institution is not federally insured.
hour number 2 of Out to Lunch. That's right, Out to Lunch is your middle of the day show right here at WRMN 1410. We're in Studio 14 right on Douglas. Feel free to jump in at any time now. We're opening the phone lines. Talk about what you want to talk about. I've already scratched my itch of getting the news out to you. Yeah, sure, can I talk a little bit more? I'm gonna. But I want you to jump in too. 847-931-1410 or on the Image 360 information line. That would be 505-926-1410. I'll tell you what, right now, we're going to start the clock. We've got 5 minutes right now. It's 8 after. I will take you all the way to 13. You have 5 minutes to text me on that text line, that Image 360 information line right there, 505-926-1410. If you want these 2 tickets to the Garden Bros Nuclear Circus Humans Gone Wild, the Wheel of Death, the Sphere of Fear, Human Cannonball, World's Smallest Man. Hurry now, in the first 100 adults pay just $14.50. Or if you text me right now, the next person that texts me at 505-926-1410 will go ahead and win both of these tickets right here. I'll have them in the Redemption Center over there at 16 Douglas. You only have 4 more minutes left. 4 more minutes to get these amazing tickets. Oh, where are they? Well, I'm glad you asked. Over at St. Charles, Kane County Fair is where it's going. You can go Thursday through Friday on the 15th, 16th, 17th, 15th and 16th then, would be 4:30 to 7:30. Saturday is 1:30 to 4:30, and at 7:30, so 3 different showings on there. And Sunday, of course, 1, 4, and 7. These tickets are good for any of those times. Take them now as they go. So, in the other hour, we talked a little bit about how the world is a-changing, how the interactive media that you can find out there in the world ad fontes as you move through the universe. I've got a few things that I want to play. Yeah, not talk to you or anything like that. I want to play some things for you. I like folk music. I like some of the older music as well. This last week on Friday, I took over Music Memories. Great time, wonderful time. I loved it. I got to play songs that I hadn't heard in years and songs that I haven't heard at all. What I appreciate about doing that was that I got to see how a specific date in history walked through the decades. I believe I did the 25th of July, and then I did 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. We got through all of them. Now, I really wish I could have played more of the songs, a little bit longer of the songs. But I had to walk through 6 decades. So what I want to do is I want to do something that I do every once in a while just to kind of recenter myself and to make sure that that we're all checking back with that litmus test. Bendemonium Boquest is on the line with me as well, and he's heard this a few times. We've actually brought on people from different parties and different walks of life to walk through this litmus test that Bob Dylan has given us. I don't know if you know this song at all, but The Times They Are A-Changin'. One of the great songs that I like. because it is a litmus test of, are you in your position and who you are you doing what's best for everyone around you? Every religion has love in it, but love has no religion. And this is where we start to break that down for it. But I'm going to play the song. Wonderful, beautiful song. And we're going to walk through a little bit of the lyrics. And then, on the other side of it, after we go through the lyrics of Bob Dylan, we're going to stay in the 60s. I've got another wonderful lady that you may have heard her songs before. If you ever watch HBO's Weeds, the opening song for that, Little Boxes, was made by and performed by, written by a genius, Malvina Reynolds. And the reason I'm bringing back the 60s, Benjamin, is because I think there's a lot of polarity, parallel sides, parallel universe to what's going on about rights and identity politics, right? We talked about that as well. There's a lot of that going on. And then just human rights in general. It's not a Vietnam War, but it is war. So before we go a little bit, man, do you have anything to say before we play this song?
Oh, man, yeah, it just speaks to how everything is cyclical, you know. It's from fashion to apparently our rights. We have to fight these fights every other couple generations. Be wary of bell-bottom jeans.
Exactly. Long hair and bell-bottom jeans came around, too. So maybe that's what it is. Long hair, bell-bottom jeans, no haircuts fights the oppression. But here we go. If you listen, Bob's gonna call you out. I'm sorry. I hate to be the guy that warns you on this, but trust me, he's going to talk to you specifically.
Bobby D.
Come gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accept it that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, or the times they are a-changing. Some writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin, and there's no telling who that it's naming. Was the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing. Mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are a-changing. drawn, the curse it is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changing.
Those times they are a-changing by Bob Dylan. He calls a lot of us out on that. A lot of us. I always look at it and go, man, I fall into a few of those categories. And am I doing what's right? When he wrote this song to be a protest anthem. I can't remember what interview I read that he had this, but when he wrote it in 1964, there was a lot going on. He wanted to put something back in that was specifically a protest song. Like, you don't put those words into that order without wanting for a change. Changing is said quite a few times in there. So obviously, that's what it is. The one that gets to me and makes sure that I stay with it is that very second verse. Now, of course, the first verse, come gather around people wherever you roam, admit that the waters around you have grown. Except that it's soon you'll be drenched to the bone, for the time to you is worth saving. And you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for times they are a-changing. Right there, that first one already is just setting the scene. Ben, we've talked a little bit about frog at a boiling pot of water, right? If the tide is coming in, if the water is slowly rising, at what point do you say the tide is coming in? When it hits your feet, when it gets to your ankles, when it's above your neck? Do you stay where you are and just say, nope, nothing's changing? No, the tide's not coming in. I may drown, but I'm going to stay right here.
Yeah, it's the "this is fine" meme.
Yes, this is fine. Yes, the place is on fire as it goes. But here for you and I, so that sets the thing. It sets the course. So if that line alone is like, hey, this is everybody. You gather around people. Like, if you ain't a people, then it doesn't pertain to you. I hope you're a people. I hope you understand this. But it's like, hey, everybody. It's a catch-all as it. Then he turns around and he targets. And he comes right after us, right off the bat, Ben. Come on, Bob. Come on. We can't just be like second or third or something. Nope. We're the people. We're the writers. Because he turns around, because he's a writer, and says, hey, come writers and critics who prophesize with your pen and keep your eyes open. The chance won't come again. Right now. Tide's coming in. Write about it now as it's coming. Don't write about something different, right? Go ahead.
Bob Dylan's Farmer's Almanac.
That's it.
Tide's coming in.
And don't speak till soon, for the wheel's still in spin, right? Hey, take your time. Write the truth. Find something that comes across. And there's no telling who that it's naming. You don't know who's going to be in charge when it comes through. Last year, there was only one person on the entire planet that thought that Kamala Harris was going to be the nominee, and that was Vivek Ramaswamy. I'll give it to him. Absolutely. The guy called it in like last October. But you don't know. You don't know who it's going to be. It may not even be Donald Trump. Well, he's already the candidate, but like you've seen, people can drop out. May not even be J.D. Vance. May not even be Kamala. Because they haven't even named her yet. So do you see what's going on? There's no telling who that it's naming. Seems pretty apropos, as you will. For the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-changing. Then it gets juicy, Benjamin. It gets juicy. Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he who has stalled. The battle outside rage and will soon shake your windows and rattle your halls, for the times they are a-changin'. Term limits. Benjamin? Bob Dylan's talking about term limits here. I don't want to be preaching the United States gospel of Bob Dylan, but here you go, right in front of us, since the 60s. If you can't help, if you can't get it done, step down, step away, get out of the way. This isn't the first time he talks about it over here, Ben. What do you think about that? The one person pops into my head every single time I hear that. And it will haunt me for the rest of my life. And that is Mitchell McConnell. You think about all the times that obstructionist jumped in. And sure, if you want a blue hat to yell at, let's take a Lieberman. How about that? Pick a Joe. Joe Lieberman or Joe Manchin. You see where we have the progress. We want to make the change. But there's always the, sorry, so-and-such says we can't do it. Oh, well, we'd love to do it. It's the wife won't let me excuse, Benjamin. Oh, man, Ben, I'd love to go golfing with you every single weekend, but wife won't let me. I'd love to give you reproductive freedoms. I'd love to give you a federal universal voting law, but wife just won't let me. So it's back to that side, and that's I think one of the most powerful ones that are out there. Hey, buddy, we fished a phone call. Let's see who we got on the line. Hello, caller. Welcome in. What would you like to talk about?
Hello?
Hello. How are you from down under? How have you been?
I'm good.
Surely, Derica, you like Bob Dylan. Come on.
He's all right, yeah.
He's all right. Oh, okay. Who do you like instead?
No, I like him.
Okay.
But I like lots of other singers too.
That's true. Do you like folk music at all?
It's not bad.
Okay. What's your preferred stuff? You are let me guess. You are a metal headbanger, right? Guar and who else out there? No? What's your favorite type of music?
I don't really have a favorite, but
okay.
I like most kinds of music, and I like the modern music you see on the music shows today, and even the classic ones from back in the old days. And
there you go. What music did you grow up to? I've heard that a lot of people grew up with the Beach Boys. Like we talked with Bill Pellerinos, who had the Beach Boys, and he said that was just a bubbly, good time type of I don't know, musical Prozac almost.
Yeah, and I grew up with my brother, my older brother, the one who's not alive anymore. But when he was younger and still living at home, he would have his stereo in his room, and he would play Village People, Boney M, Fleetwood Mac,
there you go.
AC/DC, and the guy who sang North to Alaska and Sink the Bismarck
of course, AC/DC down in your neck of the woods. I mean, you guys could have just gone down the street to listen to them, right?
Oh, well, basically, yeah.
See, she admitted it. See, you could. You guys went to the same high school, right? But hey, I appreciate you calling in. Let's get a weather report for you before you get out of here. What is it on the other hemisphere?
Well, it's dark outside at the moment. It's in the early hours of the morning here.
That's okay. The sun's on its way to you. When we're done with it, we'll hand it over.
But in the morning when the sun comes up, it should be a nice day. It might be a little bit cold in the morning and at night time, but during the day it's all right and nice and sunny.
Well, I hope you have a phenomenal day. Thank you very much for calling in with us and checking in.
That's all right. So you like that song that Marky B played the other day?
I did. We Are Australia. That's or Australian. I really like that one. That's it's going to be my new ringtone as soon as I can figure out how to record some of this music around here. When it comes to me, it comes to me upside down. So I've still got to figure out how to flip that. But thank you very much for calling in. Have a great day. So that's part of it too. Different cultures, different music that's out there. Dutchman comes in. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the other side, buddy. That's there is a issue that I am actually called out on another one. Another verse calls me out, Ben. It's crazy. We're going through some music, some lyrics as it moves through, but it's all right. You're listening to Out to Lunch. WRMN.
Schaumburg Boomers fans, reserve your next group outing at info@boomersbaseball.com or call 847-461-3695. We offer cater picnics, luxury suites, birthday packages, the left field party deck, and the Schaumburg Club. Go to www.boomersbaseball.com/schedule to check out the season's remaining games and giveaways, including 80s nights, meet and greets, Park in the Park, and Fan Appreciation Night.
Discover the authentic taste of Italy at Massiano's Pizza and Pastaria of Elgin. There is one inexhaustible aspect of everyday life that never dulls, namely the simple pleasure of eating and drinking. Massiano's wants to make sure that this is the best part of your day. Visit Massianos.com and sign up to view their special offers all year long. Delivery, carry out, or dine in, enjoy it anyway, because life is good at Massiano's.
We ask seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your Senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 800-699-9043.
Beef Villa's 3 locations offer much more than their signature Italian beef. Try the Italian sausage, roasted chicken, and more. There's a big variety of delicious side dishes. Beef Villa uses quality ingredients from homemade recipes, and they purchase top-of-the-quality food products from their vendors to bring you the absolute best tasting of foods. Beef Villa's great service and quality are waiting for you, but you won't be waiting long because it's always hot and fresh. Visit beefvilla.com.
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. No matter the time of the day, WRMN 1410 AM is your platform to voice your views, share your stories, and connect with the Valley like never before. We're more than just radio. We're a community conversation that's always live, always local, and always looking for your input. Want to chime in on the drive time deal with Matt McNeil? Got a hot tip for first shift with Marky B? Or maybe you've got a question for a one-on-one with Leah. Now's the time to make your voice heard by calling Studio 14 at 847-931-1410. That's 847-931-1410. You can join in the dialogue from wherever you are by commenting on our YouTube live streams at WRMN Radio. Hit the subscribe button to get notified when we go live and bring your comments to the table. It's easy, it's fun, and hey, it's what neighbors do. We talk, we listen, we engage. You're not just the audience, you're part of the show. Call in, comment, and let's make radio interactive. WRMN 1410 AM, where your words are part of our wavelength.
Stalled the battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch. This is the verse we're talking about.
Mothers and fathers throughout the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are a-changing.
Welcome back to Out to Lunch, WRMN. We're going through a little bit about a few protest songs that I use to kind of keep myself in check. I don't like to disparage other people in their beliefs and things. Now, if you're going to be a hypocrite about it, then maybe I might point it out. But at the end of the day, I like to check myself. Hello. Yeah, we're live. Hi. That's right. Right here on Douglas, Studio 14. That's right, I'm live. Did you like that song? Thumbs up if you like that song, right? Yeah, Bob Dylan. Way to go. Go ahead and head in on inside. There's another door over there on 16, Douglas. Go ahead and talk to Matt McNeil. He's already there for you. Hey, that's right, Interactive Community Radio. So, Benjamin, I talked a little bit about how I have to be identified in this song. I'm hoping for a hat trick. Maybe one day I'll be a senator or a congressman or somebody like that, and then I'll be a full hat trick with it. But mothers and fathers throughout the land, don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can't lend your hand, for the times they are a-changin'. Benjamin, we don't even have to look at our own children. I think Gen Z is kooky. I don't understand a lot of Gen Z. I don't.
Are they weird? No.
You could be described as such, or they could be described as such. Yeah, but that's the thing. But look at their actions, right? Look at what is being accomplished. That's what we're seeing. It takes us back to our old argument, Benjamin, of coming in with good faith, of this is what we really want. I'm not here to just dismantle the system. I'm here to work with you to see what we can do with the system. And a lot of this Gen Z side of it, I don't know if it's because they grew up with solely the internet. You and I still grew up with a little bit of paper in our life. I mean, I know I had at least 3 different versions of the encyclopedia growing up. You ask a Gen Z person what an encyclopedia is, they're going to, like, Wikipedia? Are you pronouncing Wikipedia with a silent W? No, encyclopedia. Dictionaries, books, right?
Some interesting etymology there in encyclopedia. I don't know.
It's true. It's still a pedia. It's still a repertoire of information. But yeah, that's it. Is there's a lot that I don't understand with Gen Z, even with this whole like the whole JD Vance couch thing, right? Don't get it in any kind of way. But it was the biggest thing for it was a false narrative. But they used it to point out how easy it is to spread this false information within the system.
Sure.
Or look at all of the times that K-pop dancer or K-pop fans have shut down entire hate speech rallies. I don't understand any of that. I'm not a Swiftie. I don't get it. But I'm not going to get in the way of what the other generation wants to do with their life, their body, their pursuit of happiness.
Right.
And I assume you feel the same way, but that's the way that, and you're not the mother or father that you're talking about, but you're still part of that feeling that us as millennials have for our younger brothers and sisters that may have fallen into the Gen Z categories.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big swath of new voters, we'll say. And it's one of those things that there's always going to be some misunderstanding between generations. And I think Gen Z, you hit it right on the head when it's Gen Z doesn't have any link back to analog, true society, whereas we're kind of like the elder millennials are like, hey, actually you should fact check stuff and like also check your emotions about things before jumping on the this or that train. And I don't know, it just seems, from my perspective, it seems like everything's very extreme. And I remember thinking that way when I was that age, how you have to be, and even seeing people my age act like that and still act like that. So maybe it's just more of a thing on society than anything else, which, each generation just kind of represents their generation of the same type of society. So it's weird. But
and that's where I think we're calling this back is there's people that this generation right here who wrote these songs, who sang these songs. Where are you? How did you help us stay away from this? Where have all the hippies gone? Where did they go, Benjamin?
It's Macklemore now. Macklemore's the only one.
Macklemore's the hippie? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, buy your tickets to the handbasket. It's filling up quick. Here we go. The other song that I want to pull in, and this is one of my favorite ladies out there in the world. Malvina Reynolds is my spirit animal as far as the protesting goes. Wonderful, wonderful lady. It's got a lot of songs that do you know when the second wave ska came around, Ben, and it was all melancholy? Like it was happy brass, but it was like, oh my gosh, I'm so depressed. But it was the happy music side of it. So she kind of did that with the folk music aspect of it. That strumming, doom, doom, ba-doom, ba-doom, doom, that folk music as it was growing there, but then added the political songs to it. Malvina Reynolds was the Macklemore of the 60s.
I love the analogy.
So most people you brought it up, Macklemore out there. I'll absolutely take it. Great comparison, too, because Macklemore writes the songs about it. And he doesn't care necessarily who it's going to do. And even that newest song that he's got out is the same kind of style, the same kind of energy with It Isn't Nice by Malvina Reynolds. And I don't know if everybody's heard this one before, but Little Boxes is another one that she's heard. You've watched the show Weeds before, right, Benjamin, on HBO?
Oh, my God. And yes, the soundtrack to Weeds is one of the greatest ever put together. Whoever did that score, it's amazing.
So the opening song for that, opening song for that is Little Boxes. And the whole song is all about how the United States is just a people-making factory. They go into little boxes, they all come out all the same, they go into summer camp, and then they go into the university, and then they become doctors and lawyers, and they're packaged up into the suburbs and little houses, pink ones and green ones and blue ones, and they're all packaged up real nicely, all up in ticky-tacky, which is kind of like paper mache or kind of just like a false type of thing. Yeah, right. It's not really substantive. It's fragile.
Silly putty.
Yeah. So Malvina Reynolds has another one, and I'll go into some of the lyrics as well, but I'm going to have you listen to it first. I want to make sure that there's nothing in there because it is a freedom song. So they are going to talk about Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie, I believe, was referring to one of the Supreme Court justices at the time. That would be this one right here. Mr. Charlie is. I'd have to find it out. I'll look at it while we're listening to it. But essentially, what happened was, as people started to protest in the '60s, they started writing laws about how you could protest. We are allowed to peacefully assemble. Peacefully assemble. Shouting and screaming at somebody in their own establishment isn't what I assume would be peaceful. But me standing somewhere in a public area, peaceful. Me sitting somewhere, me holding up a sign in a public area that's non-vulgar, just as a sign. Those are all protected under our favorite of all the amendments, the first one. So here we go, Malvina Reynolds. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put my DJ voice. You're listening to WRMN 1410. Up next, Malvina Reynolds with It Isn't Nice.
It is nice to block the doorway. It is nice to go to jail. There are nicer ways to do it, but the nice ways always fail. It isn't nice, it isn't nice. You told us once, you told us twice, but if that is freedom's price, we don't mind. It is nice to carry down or to sit in on the floor or to shout our cry of freedom at the hotel and the store. It isn't nice, it isn't nice. You told us once, you told us twice, but if that is freedom's price, we don't mind. We have tried negotiation and the three-man picket line. Mr. Charlie didn't see us, and he might as well be blind. Now our new ways aren't nice when we deal with men of ice, but if that is freedom's price, we don't mind. How about those years of lynching and the shot in Evers' back? Did you say it wasn't proper? Did you stand out on the track? You were quiet just like mice. Now you say we are nice. Well, if that is freedom's price, we don't mind. It isn't nice to block the doorway. It isn't nice to go to jail. There are nicer ways to do it, but the nice ways always fail. It isn't nice, it isn't nice. Well, thanks for your advice, but if that is freedom's price, we don't mind, we don't mind.
It Isn't Nice by Malvina Reynolds. Wonderful, wonderful protest song. Points a lot of things out in that song. It's a lot of tongue-in-cheek, which was her style. Now I think Macklemore is a little bit of, yes, it's a tongue-in-cheek. He is a lyricist, but I think a lot of his stuff is a bit more brutal. But by all means, somebody who's singing about the shot in Evers' back and the lynchings in the 60s, that's might as well be the same thing as talking about the George Floyd or anything else that we've been experiencing over the last couple of years. So that's the thing that I like about what she put out is the problem has always been protesting is not supposed to be nice. Standing up against a bully is not nice. It just isn't, Ben. Like you can turn around all day and say, bully, I love you as a person, et cetera, but what does everybody say to stop a bully? Is to be right back in their face with it. And you can have your political revolutions, you can have your organizations and everything else, but passiveness doesn't change it. Saying, well, wouldn't it be nicer if you just protested down the street? Wouldn't it be nicer if, like, maybe you just wrote a letter? Well, why can't you just have 3 people protest instead of 16 protest? It would look a lot nicer if it was just the 3 of you out there protesting. Oh, don't say those things. That's not nice. Don't call them this word, this definition specific word. That's not a nice word. Where's the change, Benjamin? Where is the, well, you know what? It's not supposed to be nice. If that's the price of it, is me being a meanie, then you know what? That's the price of freedom, right? Freedom isn't free, and if it costs me my niceties, then so be the price. Yar.
Cities. Yeah, I like that. We should get that embroidered on something.
That isn't nice.
Catchphrase.
But that's what they said. They said, look, it's not nice for you to say these things. It's not nice for you to say these things about, even then, back then, it's not nice for you to say these things about America. It's not nice for you to say these things about our system or about our government or about these people here or those people there. Stop calling people out for the bad things they do. That's not nice. It's not nice to point out to the guy that, like, no, he smelt it, he dealt it. Like, that's him, that's the guy.
And so it goes.
So that's what do you think about that side of it there? I just want to read those lyrics. But the nice ways always fail. It isn't nice. It isn't nice. Yeah. Thanks for your advice. Because if that is freedom's price, we don't mind.
Yes. Yeah, it's so true. And everybody always wants to, it's kind of the opposite of the woke cancel culture. My alarm just went off. But yeah, not to say, obviously, I align myself with a lot of quote unquote woke values, but it's insane how far people go in this kind of cancel culture thing, as far as you got to split hairs and say this and that, and if you do this, you're that, and if you do the other thing, then you'll never do this, and blah blah blah. And it's just, there's too much division. So at the end of the day, I think it comes down to what Malvina is saying in the song is, you have to do the things that you protest peacefully, but you have to do things that are going to actually have effect. It's not nice to block the door and do the sit-ins or what have you, but at some point you got to stand up. You can't just passively fight back forever.
Well, and even then, that's what President Kennedy said as well, is we have to keep the lines of passive and peaceful. Hey, they got some tickets. Hey, did you guys get any of the pizza tickets? No. Oh, man, they missed the pizza tickets, or I think they got some. People came over to the Redemption Center to get some of those gift certificates that are over there, Ben. I hope they got some circus tickets that are over there. I already gave my pair away over to the text line, gave it away there. But that's part of it, too, is I think that some of what Malvina is talking about here is the almost the smile aspect of it, too. Like you don't smile enough, Ben. Like, Like that kind of thing. Like, why don't you smile more? You're so grumpy. Why don't you just smile more? Like, it's part of that. Eat your lumps and like it. Take your stuff. This is the way it is, right? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why a lot of it's coming in here. We're going to actually leave the show with, in the 80s already. Well, actually, no, 79. So a good 15 years later, Peggy Seeger, another one of my favorite songs. It's mostly because it uses the word engineer in it. But it's another protest song. It's another protest woman. Thanks, Matt, for doing that. He just ran down the street trying to give some Danny's dollars. But just think about the protest. Think about the 60s. Think about just the seed start of that revolution and how women had to walk through a lot of that. Minorities have had to walk through all of these things. This song right here came out in 79. You got to think about some of the lyrics that are in here. This was when your mom, my mom, our grandmas couldn't have bank accounts because they were women. There were so many other freedoms. No-fault divorce wasn't a thing. This is what I think of when people keep telling us what we keep striving to go back to. This song right here.
When I was a little girl, I wished I was a boy. I tagged along behind the gang and wore me corduroys. Everybody said I only did it to annoy, but I was gonna be an engineer. Mama told me, can't you be a lady? Your duty is to make me the mother of a pearl. Wait until you're older, dear, and maybe you'll be glad that you're a girl. Dainty as a Dresden statue, gentle as a Jersey cow, smooth as silk, gives creamy milk. Learn to coo, learn to move. That's what you do to be a lady now. When I went to school, I learned to write and how to read, some history, geography, and home economy. And typing is a skill that every girl is sure to need to while away the extra time until the time to breed. Then they had the nerve to say, what would you like to be? I says, I'm gonna be an engineer. No, you only need to learn to be a lady. The duty isn't yours for to try and run the world. An engineer could never have a baby. Remember, dear, that you're a girl. She's smart for a woman. I wonder how she got that way. You get no choice, you get no voice. Just stay mum, pretend you're dumb, and that's how you come to be a lady today. Then Jimmy come along and we set up a congregation. We were busy every night with love and recreation. I spent the day at work so he could get his education. Well, now he's an engineer. He says, I know you'll always be a lady. It's the duty of my darling to love me all her life. Could an engineer look after or obey me? Remember, dear, that you're my wife. Well, as soon as Jimmy got a job, I began again. Then happy at me till it lay the year or so. And then the morning that the twins were born, Jimmy says to them, kids, your mother was an engineer. You owe it to the kids to be a lady. Dainty as a dish rag, faithful as a child. Stay at home, you got to mind the baby. Remember, you're a mother now. Well, every time I turn around, it's something else to do. It's cook a meal, mend a sock, sweep a floor or two. I listening to Jimmy Young, it makes me want to spew. I was gonna be an engineer. Don't I really wish that I could be a lady? I could do the lovely things that a lady's supposed to do.
So in the last 2 minutes, that's a great song. Part of that song that's there is it hits me hard.
You make me want to spew.
Yeah, it's that part. It's the future for my daughters. Do they get to be what they want to be?
Yeah. Yeah, you got to be concerned. I mean, that's why I feel like that's the focus that people are taking advantage of these days.
Mm-hmm.
I.e., J.D. Vance saying that no one but people with kids should be able to vote. It's kind of basically what he's saying is should be focused on that, which comes from a good place. It's, I think, again, every generation.
Or does she? Or do they have to be nice, Ben?
We're working towards.
Do they have to be nice? Do they have to be a lady?
We're hoping they can. They can be.
I'm hoping.
I think that's. Yeah.
But we've got an entire side that doesn't want it. 19th Amendment, man. Keep it. We can keep the Republic for as long as we can keep it, Ben. I'm sorry if I was a little preachy or anything like that today. It's something that I think some of us have forgotten. Some of the things that we just need to keep in mind today. Thanks for listening out to lunch. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed it. If you missed anything, go ahead and go over to the YouTube side, youtube.com, WRMN Radio. See you tomorrow. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate it, man.
Well, I listened to my mother and I joined a typing pool. I listened to my lover and I put him through his school.
From morning coffee to your evening commute, WRMN 1410 AM is here for you. The faithful friend that brings you local news, timely topics, and the friendliest voices in the Valley. Stay informed, entertained, and engaged with our full lineup of shows, streaming all day, every day at WRMN1410.com or on the WRMN app. Wherever you are, we're right there with you. So why switch stations? Stick with the one that has it all. WRMN 1410 AM, your daily companion, your constant conversation.
Summer Lake House offers the ultimate waterfront family dining experience, complete with rustic summer-inspired decor and a menu that highlights simple, handcrafted dishes prepared with locally sourced ingredients. The Wisconsin-inspired Summer Lake House, where you can enjoy a laid-back, family-friendly vibe with delicious modern American cuisine and handcrafted cocktails. Don't just go out to eat, go outside to eat. Summer Lake House on Lake Delton.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 2 o'clock.
From New York, this is Democracy Now!
Is not self-policing. The court is not dealing with the obvious conflicts of interest. We need a mandatory code of ethics for the Supreme Court, and we need it now.
President Biden lays out his plan to reform the U.S. Supreme Court, calling for term limits, an ethics code, and an end to presidential immunity. We'll speak to the Brennan Center about Biden's proposals and whether they have any chance of being enacted. Then we look at Ziklag, a secret organization of wealthy Christians trying to sway the election and change the country. We'll talk to Andy Kroll of ProPublica. Plus, we go to Venezuela, where Nicolas Maduro has been declared the winner of Sunday's election despite fraud claims by the opposition.
Quienes hizo este plan es la extrema derecha, esta extrema derecha.
The extreme right did this plan. They were screaming fraud 15 days before the elections. They didn't sign the agreement to recognize the election results.
All that and more coming up. Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. The Palestinian Ministry of Health has declared an epidemic of polio after Israel's devastating assault decimated Gaza's health, water, and sanitation infrastructure, leading to an outbreak of the viral disease. On Monday, health officials called on Israel to immediately halt its offensive in order to combat the spread of polio by restoring access to potable water, personal hygiene, sewage networks, and waste collection.
Adrenaline Monkey is located inside the LifeZone 360 building on Route 72 in West Dundee. Release your inner wild child at Adrenaline Monkey. It's the area's highest octane indoor adventure center. Perfect for the whole family, too. Adventurers of all ages can try Ninja Warrior obstacles, rock climbing, vertical adventures, and aerial course. Adrenaline Monkey can also host your organization's team building programs. Half-day and full-day sessions are available. Visit adrenalinemonkeyfun.com/WD.
Bender Dental Care, located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Bender Dental wants everyone to be informed, appreciated, and cared for at all times. To prove it, they now offer a new patient exam for just $29. That includes consult, x-ray, exam, and cleaning. Let Bender Dental help you have healthy teeth and gums for a lifetime. Located at 217 North McLean Boulevard in Elgin. Visit benderdentalcare.com. Beef Villa is a family-owned restaurant that has been in business for over 50 years. With homemade recipes made with quality ingredients, Beef Villa's great service and quality is served hot and fast. For the menu, catering locations, or for an application to join the Beef Villa team, visit beefvilla.com. Saturdays mean cruise nights, weather permitting, on Spring Street in South Elgin. Visit beefvilla.com.
From New York, this is Democracy Now!
The court is not self-policing. The court is not dealing with the obvious conflicts of interest. We need a mandatory code of ethics for the Supreme Court, and we need it now.
President Biden lays out his plan to reform the U.S. Supreme Court, calling for term limits, an ethics code, and an end to presidential immunity. We'll speak to the Brennan Center about Biden's proposals and whether they have any chance of being enacted. Go to Venezuela, where Nicolas Maduro has been declared the winner of...
...with this action has paved the way for severe punishment for itself, and we consider it our duty to avenge the blood of he who was martyred in the land of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Hamas said Ismail Haniyeh's funeral will be held in Tehran on Thursday morning before his body is transferred to Doha, Qatar, for burial on Friday. The killing of Haniyeh came less than 24 hours after Israel claimed it had assassinated Fuad Shukr, a senior Hezbollah commander in Beirut. The strike killed 3 civilians, including a woman, a girl, and a boy, and wounded 74 others. Hezbollah confirmed Shukr had been in the building at the time, but the group has not confirmed his fate. Israel had accused Shukr of being involved in Sunday's rocket attack that killed 12 Druze children in the occupied Golan Heights. Palestinian rescue workers in the Gaza Strip have collected dozens of bodies from the ruins of Khan Yunis after Israeli forces devastated the city during an 8-day ground assault. Health officials report the invasion killed 255 people and wounded more than 300 others. Dozens more remain missing. Meanwhile, the United Nations Human Rights Office warns in a new report Palestinian prisoners in Israeli jails face widespread torture, sexual violence, and brutal treatment. The UN found at least 53 Palestinian detainees have died in Israeli custody since October 7th. Others face torture, including waterboarding, sleep deprivation, starvation, electric shock, and the release of dogs. The UN says most of the Palestinian men, women, children, doctors, journalists, and human rights defenders jailed by Israel are being held without charge or trial in deplorable conditions. In Washington, D.C., dozens of interfaith activists Tuesday disrupted a gathering on Capitol Hill by members of the lobby group Christians United for Israel, or CUFA. one of the largest pro-Israel organizations in the United States with some 11 million members. The group's annual summit largely focuses on advocating for increased U.S. military support for Israel. Activists blocked a bus transporting CUFI members from National Harbor in Maryland to Capitol Hill. Meanwhile, in a separate action, several activists took to the water in kayaks at National Harbor, just outside the hotel and conference site where CUFI members gathered. Protesters held a 28-foot banner that read, "CUFI kills," and Palestinian flags, as activists also denounced CUFI's ties to white nationalism. The government of France has formally recognized Morocco's claims of sovereignty over the Northwest African territory of Western Sahara. The decision announced by French President Emmanuel Macron on Tuesday is a major victory for the Moroccan king, Mohammed, and a setback to Western Sahara's indigenous people, the Sahrawi, who fought for decades to organize a UN-backed referendum on independence. Morocco's occupied Western Sahara since 1975 in defiance of the United Nations and international law. Over the past 4 decades, thousands of Sahrawi activists have been tortured, imprisoned, killed, or disappeared while resisting the Moroccan occupation. Ukraine's Air Force says it's repelled a major Russian drone attack, describing it as one of the largest aerial assaults in months. Officials in Kyiv say it was the 7th Russian attack on Ukraine's capital city this month alone. The Biden administration's pledged $500 million in new military aid to the government of the Philippines as the U.S. and its allies in the Asia-Pacific continue to ratchet up tensions with China. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin announced the deal after meeting in Manila with Philippines leader Ferdinand Marcos Jr. at the presidential palace. Outside their talks, protesters burned a U.S. flag and condemned the military agreement.
We believe it will further the military intervention of the U.S. in the Philippines. It will lead to intensified basing of the U.S. in the Philippines. It will heighten tension in the region. The U.S. is putting forward an agenda that is contrary to our stand for peace and freedom in our country.
Nearly 1,000 children died while being forced to attend U.S. federal government boarding schools that sought to exterminate Native American identity, language, and culture. Those were the final findings of a groundbreaking report published Tuesday by the Interior Department, which for the first time in its history accounts for the U.S. government's role in the gruesome assimilation practices enforced at the schools. The report, which calls for a formal apology from the federal government, was commissioned by the first indigenous U.S. cabinet member, Interior Secretary Deb Haaland, whose grandparents were forced to attend boarding school starting at the age of 8.
Very cabinet agency created to